Team Liquid versus VGJ.Thunder. I'm W1, here's Cinder, and let's go to the game.
That was really quick. I'm
yeah,
impressed.
you know what? Because we were jumping, we were moving. See, applause. I don't know if that's actually coming through on it, but we like to
I think
jump.
it is. Yep.
It is. Great.
Let's we're actually already a decent amount into this draft.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly bring up the scores, as we like to do, especially when we get further into the tournament like this.
So when you're totally prepared before we even begin.
Yeah, my bad. I'm finding it right now.
You're good. So VGJ.Thunder is actually 6-8 Team Liquid. They're already guaranteed in the upper part of the group. They're actually tied with Evil Geniuses. So there's something for Liquid to still play for, because if you are in that one position, you get to choose your opponent.
Yes.
And they're neck and neck with Evil Geniuses, and this is the last round that both teams will be playing right now.
Let's see. So if they 2-0 here, they're first. They're first in the group.
They're first because they also they won the
they won the
game.
with EG.
They 2-0'd EG when they faced them. So yes, it would count as that.
So if Liquid do clean house, that's good.
Can we jump back to my camera for half a second, just because just look really prettily there for a moment, Sind, because we came in nice and early and. Okay, now we're good. Now we can jump back over there. No one saw anything. All right.
Just staring at the camera. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, I look pretty. Do I look pretty? Tell me I look pretty.
You look pretty.
Thank you.
I do as I'm told.
Yes.
Draft. Let's talk about some interesting, fun things that are being let through, like an Enigma. Someone please pick that. No Io, no Ench, no Chen. Both of them being banned out in the first phase against Team Liquid. Not as much of a surprise.
Team Liquid's turn.
Yep. Is there actually? Let me think for a second here. Okay, VGJ.Thunder is guaranteed through with their 6-8 score. If they lose, they go 6-10, and that's more than enough.
Yes.
But they are still possibly able to get a tie for 4th. That's what they're playing for here.
Yes. It would require OG and LGD to post up. Actually, it requires OG to post bad results. OG needs to 0-2.
First of all, it requires VGJ.Thunder to win 2-0 here.
That is true.
If they lose either game, they are guaranteed 5th through 8th.
Yeah.
They would have to take both games against Liquid, which is definitely a tall order. But they're going to try their absolute best for sure. And I guess if this game 1 doesn't go their way, they can try to be a bit experimental in game 2, or just, practice some more of the stuff that they want to be sharper on going into the main event. But yeah, at least a relief for them, I guess, that they know for sure that they are through, because their friends in Invictus Gaming are still not safe. Invictus Gaming is 4-12 in this group, when Winstrike being 3-11, and Winstrike's last opponent is OG. So if they were to get a draw there, we got ourselves a really interesting situation in this group.
That's going to be a really bad situation for IG to wake up to, because they finished all their games yesterday. So they had nothing to play today. So they sit there and like, well, our fate is not in our hands at the moment. Our fate is in the hands of OG and their result against Winstrike.
Yep. They're cheering for OG right now.
Oh,
That's for sure.
OG has to crush Winstrike 2-0.
Let's go,
in order
OG.
for IG to say, we made it. It's best of 1 lower bracket, but it's still making it.
So we've made a little bit of progress back to this game. Obviously, Liquid with the first pick, Venge. We got the Tiny Wyvern pickups from Thunder, and Liquid's response to this seems to be the Necrophos, which I kind of like here. It goes a bit both ways against Tiny. It's very nice. Obviously, Tiny has a big health pool, so the aura is very strong, and when Tiny gets low, the Reaper's Scythe will deal a lot of damage, just percentage-based, obviously. It's also, I would say, a decent hero against Wyvern Necrophos, actually, just because you're a difficult curse target. If you're Ghost Shrouded, nothing really happens. A lot of the time, Necro will tank up a little bit, and will have an easy time killing people off in Cold Embrace. You're not really safe from Necrophos' magic damage output, so I can see where they're coming from. And let's not forget, this was one of Liquid's favorite heroes last TI, so they have very capable players. It's one of the tournament's best heroes. So.
Yep.
Solid pick for them.
Ogre and Wyvern together for VGJ.Thunder. I can feel a little bit of power coming in with the survivability, but as you said, like Necro works really well against it. There's no direct counter just to silence up Necro or stop him from casting that Scythe. But maybe that's when we start thinking about the cause of VGJ in just a bit. Like, who do they have that's going to lane really well against the Necro?
Well, nobody yet.
No one yet.
And I definitely think that's what they need to think about here. I believe we might see them go a route of something like the Bat Rider that we've seen played by It's eluding me right now. Who played that? That was I have to look at the team list. Then it's coming to mind straight away. That was VG Gaming. Played it on 11. Batrider, one of the classic hard counters to Necrophos. It's an awful lane matchup. It's really annoying in the game. And the reason is you're very immobile. You get messed with very easily by Sticky Napalm, and Ghost Shroud kills you. So we could see that from Thunder. I believe it's one of Yang's better heroes as well. So definitely in the cards.
VGJ.
They just need to see more of Team Liquid before they do it.
Yeah.
ES is the pickup, so Liquid, they've been very flexible with their heroes. I think it's something to look at for Mind Control as well. Like he played the Ursa in the game we cast of Liquid yesterday. They're not staying set to the lanes, to the rules, to their positions. They're very flexible with how they
Team Liquid's turn
lane
to
everything.
Mirana.
And it's a Mirana for VGJ, so it
Very
feels
nice
solid.
pick. It's nice and open-ended. It can go in all 3 lanes. It is a pretty good hero against Necrophos, actually, in lane. It's both good in the mid lane and in the off lane, facing the Necro. So, and it gives them the option of even last picking their off laner, which is really nice here, because both Tiny and Mirana can play position 1 and 2, and that means Yang can take that last pick Batrider if they want to go that route, or maybe there's something else that just becomes apparent is an incredible pick. Such as a potential Broodmother, which is actually still in the pool. Did not get respect ban against Team Liquid this time around by VGJ.Thunder.
Unless they feel like they've got enough to deal with it, like Splinter Blast, Starfall, Tiny. That's a lot of clearance, but obviously the laning phase is a completely different kettle of fish.
We saw Liquid play the Brood yesterday against Tiny, and while he struggled a little bit in the laning stage in the beginning, he just gets level 4 and goes jungle. And if you don't contest him in the jungle, well, he'll just free farm. Basically farm lane and jungle at the same time. And
yeah,
he's going to out-farm you, and he's going to farm your jungle, then he's going to out-farm you even more. So you got to be a bit careful with letting Brood through against this team.
Kind of hoping that Liquid just ignore it for now, because I don't think anyone really wants to see another Brood game. Makes it a very one-sided affair.
It could be a strategy that Liquid run on purpose now as well. They're like, okay, we've got our winner bracket. Let's not put too much emphasis on this hero, so everybody could forget about it for a game at the main event. Like, obviously, people are going to be aware that Brood is there, but if Liquid run it a little bit less and as high of a priority, you might be like, oh yeah, right, Liquid also play Brood, let's take care of that last phase, and Liquid at the playoffs just pull it out as the 3rd pick, like they have before. So if you show that a little bit less in these games, you maybe draw some attention away from it. And I could definitely see Kuroki thinking about that as a potential strategy when you're in this luxurious position of knowing you're through anyway.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
And they probably
I
feel like they can 2-0 this series without picking their absolute best.
Yeah.
So.
5
Or was it
seconds
we saw it with Liquid when they played up against Windstrike, where it was like, okay, we're just gonna draft our first 3 heroes. It's like, actually, was that EG or was that Liquid?
That was EG.
That was EG.
3 cores.
Yeah, they just picked their 3 cores at the very beginning. It feels like Liquid can have the same level of confidence, where it's like, well, we just pick up our cores. We don't feel up under any real pressure. Just play our game the way we'd like to play it.
Yep.
No Nature's Prophet, so I'll take out Mind Control's final hero. So they're assuming that will be a Miracle Necro.
Liquid's turn to pick.
And no Alchemist-style gaming, and it's a Brewmaster. So it is quite clear what Team Liquid are up to.
Yep. This PL pick kind of blocks out Batrider from being as good as it could have been, because that's a very good matchup in lane. I don't know if that was something Liquid were thinking about when they grabbed this PL, but they are decently covered against a potential Yang Batrider. I'm looking at these picks. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that stands out that would be just a fantastic last pick. More than likely at this point, if you don't see it for Yang, they just throw him on that Mirana or the Tiny, and they grab a higher priority core for Sylar, perhaps, that is meant to carry this game. Actually, Ember Spirit is in, and I don't think it's that bad this game. It's good against PL. It's pretty good against Necrophos. I'd say it's fine against Brewmaster. Sure, you can dispel the Flame Guard, but he can also kite you around, and there's very limited lockdown on Liquid's side. In the same vein, there's Storm Spirit, which I think is very interesting here. I'd actually like to see one of the 2 spirits from Thunder. I think both picks are very nice in this situation.
Ember would be nice, but is it also sometimes easy just to go for that big, harder, safe lane carry? Like, you let the Mirana go off, you let the Tiny go mid, and then you get something which can deal with a PL quite easily.
That's the thing. They need something. I feel like they're not satisfied with having only the Tiny against PL. I don't think it's enough. So the last pick needs to be able to deal with it. And there's not that many safe laners, really, that do that well against PL.
remember like the old ones, like you look at Sven, but
Yeah,
like
but then
what's,
you have a Sven.
yeah, what's the common pickups these
Has he
days
been
against
picked
the
this
PL?
tournament?
He has been picked.
Okay.
He's not in the unplayed list.
Okay, he has very few games.
We're
though.
down to
I haven't seen
7.
it.
We're down to 7 heroes in the unplayed list.
I mean, it's possible they could go for Sven. I think the Necrophos matchup is really bad though. It's pretty tough for Sven to deal with Necro. When you cast God Strength, you get so much max health, and that just means that the aura is taking you down very quickly. Anytime you get to half health, you're just dead, unless you have BKB. So, tricky hero to pick here. You generally don't want too many tanky cores against Necrophos. I feel like you're playing into his hand then. That's why I like both the Ember in this tournament.
Oh,
Okay,
Leshrac.
Different core that's good against PL.
Yeah.
I can see that. Similar logic, right? You have limited lockdown, you have limited stuns and silences on Team Liquid's side, so Leshrac might be able to, in a core role, be able to deal very well with the PL as well as Necrophos. Great magic damage. I think this pick is fine too. I'm a bit uncertain if he's better than the other two I suggested, just because in my mind, Leshrac struggles against Brewmaster. Getting Cycloned as Leshrac is really annoying. Sure, you've got your Pulse Nova and your Edict running, but if that happens, if you get Cycloned away from the fight, you're a much easier catch for the Brew than, say, Ember or Storm, because you have to walk in. You're just going to be visible, you're walking in to cast your spells, you get Cyclone. Take him out 2 times with that Tornado. And can your team take care of business while you're flying? I don't know about that.
Had to change my setting just to freeze everything up for everybody. Team Liquid. Could have captured this moment.
Esprit looks so boss.
It's the shoulders.
He looks so
It's the broad shoulders.
Really broad shoulders. He's got a big staff, and then he's got the crown and the big jewels. Like, honestly, look at this guy.
I say the crown looks even better because you've got the tree that's frozen behind
Yeah,
him.
it looks
so
like
it looks like he's got like a flowing hand, like one of the pharaohs.
Yeah,
It looks like like pharaoh spirit.
I was thinking he looked like one of the presidents of Mount Rushmore.
We're not in that country anymore.
No, but he could still look like it.
He can.
You cannot talk about the U.S. when you're in Canada. It's by law.
Is it?
What do you mean?
I don't know. let's put a wall on that conversation. All right, let's check out our lanes. Good luck for me, camera work as well in this game. Mind Control going up on the top lane. It'll be the Brewmaster, Matubman into the mid is Necro, GH rotating ES. Kuro will be the Vengeful Spirit, and that puts Miracle on the Phantom Lancer. And as far as VGJ.Thunder go, Yang is going to head towards the off lane as the Tiny. This will allow Sylar to take the top lane as the Leshrac, Fade, Wyvern, DDC Ogre, and that then leaves Freeze as the Moran, who I assume will be moving in towards the mid lane.
Yep. Definitely looks... Well, for now he is probably just going to go for maybe a first blood attempt. Perhaps the DDC wants to skill the Fire Blast to set up an arrow, but it doesn't feel very good for Ogre to start with that spell. Like, a lot of the time, it's pretty bad. So even if you go for the play for potential first blood, if you don't get it, you regret it. You got to land that kill. And as it looks, nothing is happening. Liquid are not coming up here. They're very adamant about protecting their bottom rune, apparently. That's a very important rune in this game.
Maybe they're thinking that VGJ were going to be looking for a bit of a fight, but they're marking their territory, literally.
Yep.
And contest time. Miracle's moving forward. 5 seconds. Yang, he went for the tree to begin with, so he can punch into Miracle. But, okay, VGJ.Thunder don't want any part of this. And this will now be 3 runes going the way of Team Liquid.
Yep. They ended up getting 3 runes that way. That worked out really well for them. And they even get the block mid for Matumba Man, which... This will be an interesting lane to watch. In my mind, this is a Mirana favorite matchup. Mirana, one of the better heroes against Necrophos in lane, just because you just attack him all the time. Necro doesn't have the best attack range. He's sitting at 550, which isn't bad, but it's not the 630 of Mirana, so she just outranges you all the time, hits you. And if the creep waves are placed in a good way, you can even do it without drawing aggro.
The MVP for that lane for Freeze was actually Matumbaman's creep that he didn't block, that one melee creep. Yang's already starting his TP away. He goes to a tier 1 tower, however, because this defensive tri-lane from Team Liquid. So this Liquid almost feels like one of these teams where, like, we always thought this is a 2-1-2 meta, but They don't like to play by the same rules.
This is the second time we've seen Liquid start 3 heroes in Miracle's lane, and then shortly after they leave and reinforce mind control.
That's when they were babysitting when Miracle was Wraith King, I think,
Yeah,
yesterday.
exactly. That exact game. That was against Windstrike, I believe?
I believe so. GH, rolling boulders up. He was looking for DDC, but DDC turned around and walked the other direction. But it gives the early levels to Mind Control. Actually, Mind Control was on Brewmaster that game too, because they waited till he hit 3. So then there was 2 points up in clap. GH rotated over, and they found kills on top.
Yeah. This lane that they're facing is not easy, though. Ogre Leshrac is a really strong lane against 2 melee heroes. Against melee opponents, it's a lot easier for Leshrac to hit his stun with the anticipation of when heroes go for CS.
GH isn't giving up on it, though.
It's not going to happen. They're not killing an Ogre in this lane. Not yet, at least. Meanwhile, Freeze is getting beaten in mid by Matumba. I don't think, like I said, I don't think this matchup generally goes like this, but Matu is definitely outplaying him right now.
Yeah, Freeze just kept coming in range of the Death Pulse of Matumbaman. And with the creep wave being kept alive by the Death Pulse, they just kept going for it. Top lane, stuns over on GH. Sylar will miss his split earth, and then GH decides to turn around. Rolling boulder forward. First blood is spilled. Mind Control will claim it. Sylar's looking for a rebuttal, but GH has the life through the stick charges and then the salve as well.
Yeah, like I said, Ogre shouldn't die in this lane, but he just did.
It happens when the secondary stun doesn't connect.
Exactly.
Like,
It happens if you miss the Leshrac stun, because generally when you're playing against 2 melee heroes as Lesh, you're really happy. When they go for a CS, it's very easy to land the stun, or they have to sacrifice CS all the time to fake and try to bait your stun. And if they commit onto the Ogre, Sylar should definitely be able to connect the stun on at least one of them. I'm not sure if he got greedy before and tried to hit them both and failed, but, you know, yeah, just go for the basic stuff and you're going to be fine in this lane.
It's like he was just short of range in the last one. But other lanes going pretty well for VGJ.Thunder. 14-5 for Yang on the bottom against the 8-1 of Miracle. So even with the defensive trial lane that it started off on, they didn't stop the CSing. And Freeze is playing catch-up. Like, he's still 6 CS behind Matumbaman.
He's having to ferry out a lot of region. Look how far behind he is on gold. It's one thing to be 6 CS behind. He's 700 net worth behind. Okay, it's all of this extra region that he has to buy, whereas Matumba, he doesn't need to buy any. He's just going double null into phase boots, because he's regenerating from just killing creeps. This is how Necrophos generally wins his lanes, is on that economy.
Yang's really hoping for a good punch into Miracle. Drop him down. He's only got 1 tango left, and into the Arctic Burn for Fade. They could dive through this. The tree will connect on Miracle, but he's got the life to survive.
Good arrest.
It was the pull from Kuro that allowed VGJ to get so aggressive.
And Miracle's low on regen, too. He's probably going to have to send out some tangos and maybe even a salve, because they're going to keep harassing him. Every single tree grab, Yang will lay into this Phantom Lancer. And if Miracle's floating these 250, 300 HP, he can actually die if Yang gets the point and toss on level 4.
He's bringing 6 tangos now. But the Splinter Blast from Fade is becoming more and more of a nuisance. And with the Avalanche, Kuro can't survive. Yang can finish the job. Well, Fade can finish the job while Yang is stunned up. DDC, now he's the one to be initiated on up on top lane. Sylar wants to land the stun, but he got hit by that boulder of GH, who'll then roll in. Sylar body blocks it up. So Liquid, they're doing heavy amounts of damage with Clap coming off cooldown now. Mind Control wants to close the distance on the target. He'll find Sylar. Wyvern begins his TP over, but it's actually the Earth Spirit who dies first with the Arctic Burn. He's still slowed up, but Mind Control just can't outrun this. Ignited up, and the kill will go the way of Fade. Probably wasn't the intention, but the result is still good for VGJ.
Yeah, they got to be careful with this Team Liquid. If these top fights draw out for this long, the Leshrac gets to cast multiple split lightnings.
Especially for the 5-minute bounty runes who are now coming under contest. TDC wants to fight more with Fade. Fade does actually grab the rune. TDC is very, very low. They got Splinter Blast off cooldown in 1 second time. And Fade, well, he won't do much with it unless GH just can't tank. Okay, they got Shrine. TDC sacrifices himself.
He died for a bounty. I think that's okay at this point. He's a low-level support, level 3. Used his gold. It's fine to die to get that bounty rune. And
Kuro
that means it's
Miracle
a 2
picked
for 2
up.
split, I think.
Yeah, Kuro Miracle picked up the 2 on bottom.
Yep. But yeah, this top lane, I think, for Liquid is going to become a problem now, actually. Sylar's level 5. He hasn't put his 5th skill point yet, but I imagine he might put it into Lightning Storm. And when they go for these extended engages that take 10 to 20 seconds to get a kill, the Lightning Storm is going to get cast multiple times, and you will be struggling. That's why we see Mind Control pick up that raindrop.
Matumba's feeling the kill in mid. Scythe comes down and connects. Mirana will fall. DDC and Faye were almost baiting with him. And with the Ghost Round, Matumba's trying to keep GH alive. The Death Pulse took a little too long to come back up, however, and Matumba knows he can stand against these two weak supports.
Yeah, getting that Reaper kill straight into the Ghost Shroud just healed him up nicely. He had so much to work with. And it's you're happy with that if you're Liquid. You got a kill in a 2v3 and you got the core.
And they're going to get more. Yang on bottom lane. Bouncing around as Yang just gets kicked out. Oh, wait, really? GH actually helps him by kicking him, but it won't be enough for Yang to survive, will it? TP support's coming in from the Wyvern. He has a Cold Embrace instantly, and he's able to do so. Miracle and Kuro, they don't have the damage to actually inflict. Magic Missiles, Duncan Leeds hold Yang in position, but now Mirana will also join the fight. Leap forward into the Starfall. GH, the stars will kill him. Dazzled in the eyes as Kuro moves around the tree lines. The arrow will not connect, but it won't matter when the double kill kicks in.
How did that actually happen? I thought GH just put down the stone and kicked. That was definitely not intended.
Yeah.
He did not want to kick the Tiny there. And I see the stone standing on the ground here. I have no idea how the stone wasn't grabbed on that. That was really weird. And it ends up costing them a little bit as they do lose both supports. Of course, Miracle got the kill and got out, so not the end of the world, but I imagine GH is a little bit flustered by that. That looked really strange.
It's a lot deeper than they really ever intended in going. Rotations up to the top against Mind Control. It's only going to be one of the illusions, though. Mind Control's about to hit the 6. I was wondering if they'll be able to get a kill on him before he's got split up.
That's definitely the silver lining with everything that's happening right now. That bottom play for Liquid didn't go too well, but they got a lot of rotation, and Mind Control is reaping the rewards with all that time. Now, though, Sylar.
Splinter Blast, Miracle perfectly dodges it with Doppelganger. But yeah, up on top. Sylar can't find the kill. GH rotates in with the TP.
That's an expensive survival, though. Sure, Mind Control lives, but he has to walk all the way to base, and they force the Earth Spirit TP. That's a win there for VGJ.Thunder for sure. The only thing right now that is really going well for Liquid is that mid lane. Like, that is looking awesome for them right now.
Yeah.
Matumba is having the time of his life. 55 CS. Way ahead on net worth of everybody else.
He's coming for a kill up on top. GH needs to be able to control up DDC a little longer to make it work. Rolling Boulder, well off target. GH will be a little bit rusty on the compass, but with the help of Necrophos, they feel good to try and fight this one. Maybe not so great as Fade arrives. Splinter Blast dropping GH very, very low. Just this spamming Lightning of Sylar. It takes all of his mana to do it, so he's got nothing much more to give in this fight. But it does make a 1-for-1 trade-off.
Yep. Matumba had the Reaper Scythe the whole time there. He finds it not worth it to drop it on the support. Could have put it on the Ogre, but it's a relatively long cooldown even with Arcane Urn, and he wanted to save it for a later time. Right now he's going to be aggressive on Freeze in mid, sitting on the phase boots and closing in on the 40 damage talent. That's when Necro starts getting really scary in lane to just stand against. Every attack of his will deal massive amounts of damage, and you add that to the tower push that he brings, he's almost got the mid-tier 1, just this consistent pressure that Necrophos can push, and with all these rotations from the Mirana to the side lanes, this is the big win for Liquid once again, this mid lane. It just he keeps gaining, and in return, that makes space for Miracle.
Yeah, and they're going to try and do something about it now, VGJ. As you said, the never-ending pressure from Necrophos. Matumba just keep pushing it up. But VGJ, they two-man smoke in. DDC needs to connect on this stun to make it work, and he runs underneath the tower. Matumba, either he feels it or he sees it coming, but I think he feels it because they don't have the vision to see it coming.
That was also pretty bad timing from DDC, running into the tower when he did. The creep wave of Matumba's was not in a position where it was likely he would walk forward to get CS.
Oh, they find an easier target. Mind Control, able to force the Brewmaster split, or maybe not. Stuns are out, and Brewmaster now starts to split. But cannot get it off in time. They're chain stuns.
Perfect timing from VGJ on that kill. That was very nice.
And the 10-minute runes. Okay, never mind. Kuro and GH are posturing on bottom. It's a 2-2 trade again.
Yep. It's like Freeze doesn't have time to go and get the top one. He wants to try and go and deny the mid tower, or at least get this haste rune. The tower's already gone, so Matumba's going to force a leap, and that's kind of the end of that. Matumba shouldn't be able to run that. He's really posing, though. He's getting into his head with those aggressive plays.
Mind Control drops an Observer Ward right on top of the sentry. Obviously, VGJ.Thunder will not be aware of this. They have their Observer Ward deeper behind that top tower.
Right now, actually, the levels are pretty interesting to look at because the supports of Liquid are falling pretty far behind. We're 11 minutes in. They're both level 4. I don't know if there's a book coming out. It doesn't seem like... maybe
Nothing on the courier.
Did Core just buy it?
No.
Did they forget about it? Because you don't have 2 level 4 supports mid 11. That's not normal. You look at VGJ's side. They have a level 6 Wyvern, level 5 Ogre, and I think they still have their Tome even. So definitely an advantage in terms of just the ultimates that they have available to work with.
Phase flying away from mind control. GH doesn't want to give this up. He just picked up an urn. He's looking for charges. No TP support coming in. In fact, it's just Fade TPing out, but the scythe from Matumba moves over. Ensures the kill. The trade-off will be the bottom tower, so Yang was beating into this, but Liquid are getting the same trade on top.
Well, it's pretty even across the board, but once again, Matumba is involved, gets another kill, gets some more presence in this game, and he is getting really farmed. Going for the expected hood build against Leshrac, as well as Tiny. And now he's working in toward the Veil. I think he actually has it. He does have the Veil. It's coming out right now.
Fully completed.
Very farmed Necrophos minute 12. It doesn't get much better than this. Still even has his Fairy Fire that he bought in the laning stage, and that could make a difference later with Ghost Shroud, so even extra little bit of health for the coming fight. And you gotta wonder for VGJ, are they gonna try to force the issue here and take a fight, or will they just let Liquid pressure the lanes, slowly but steadily take control of this? They've taken those 2 towers. And Miracle is just getting all the space in the world as a result. He has 74 CS all of a sudden.
You may have an answer to that question, considering Yang just picked up a Blink Dagger. So this is that time to fight. Sylar moves down to the bottom lane to be with them. And if Matumba shows on the lane, like, they're away from the Radiant Observer Ward for now.
I don't know if they kill him.
And they Moonlight Shadow. They Moonlight Shadow to close the distance. So initial stun must connect to kill off Matumba, but they then still have to go through his resistance. Avalanche, toss, he's got 9-1 charges available, and GH arrives for the perfect double kick. Arrow will not be able to hit from Freeze just because this, but Sylar, is the damage still enough? He has to back off. He's so low, he's actually ticking out to the urn. The TP out should not, no, it's not in time. Double leaps from Freeze, rolling boulder in from GH, but Freeze is in the tree line TPing. Akura catches up to Yang. Magic Missile, Wave of Terror, drop the armor, look for the follow-up. They're a little bit too far away, however, so Yang is able to blink away to safety.
That's such an amazing read from GH. He had a feeling that Matumba was in trouble, so he TPs down there and he just gets in position and waits. And the moment the jump comes in, the instant barrier, GH rolls in, get the stun silence combo, and they turn it around. There wasn't even a Reaper ready there from Matumba. If there was, I think they grabbed 2 kills just straight up. It's still a big win for Team Liquid in this situation. And again, let's remember, there's just a Phantom Lancer farming. VGJ.Thunder aren't really able to pressure Liquid much. That move on Matumba Man was a good attempt, but I think they needed Freeze to be closer when they went for the jump. And since he wasn't, they got nothing out of it. It's more time wasted and more time and more farm gained for that Phantom Lancer.
And there's a lot of sustain on him as well. It's the fact that you're able to already buy the hood is coming out in the courier at the moment. If they can pick that off before it actually reaches PL, they'll have a better chance of killing him off. If the delivery does come, but how much damage have they got? The hood was activated, and that allows him. He's juking with the illusion. They're trying to work out which one's the real miracle. The real miracle's gone northwest, but Sylar, that's why Leshrac was picked. Great at cleaning off the illusion, so even with the shenanigans of Miracle, they still find the real one.
Imagine evading that. Imagine getting out of 4-on-1 gank with double ganger. Yeah, not really possible. I think Miracle played that situation perfectly, but that's a 0% play. He can't get out. He bought as much time as possible, but not able to escape. Still, though, it was a 4-man rotation, and as expected from Liquid, they're going to take this advantage to just pressure out lanes. So the Necrophos is sitting confidently bottom, pushing this tower slowly but steadily. And Mind Control seems to just be looking for an opportunity to use this primal split. He would love for a team fight to break out. They haven't really given it to him yet, but he can also just get... Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, they're coming over for him. Observer and Sentry are down for Team Liquid, and Fade, he clipped the edge of the Sentry, and that's why Mind Control blinked away instantly. They may not be so lucky, however, when the arrow connects onto Miracle. Leap forward. He was farming up the Ancients. Silo was ready for him. GH wants to try and come and be part of this fight. Turns on the magnetized battlement. Scythe comes down. It doesn't find the instant kill, but the kill is still the result. Freeze leaped in to get that last connection into GH as Kuro.
KS.
Yeah, that's the ultimate kill snipe with the Wave of Terror.
I can't believe he got that kill.
Just clipped the edge.
Yeah, and they expect there to be a dire ward here because of the way they engaged on Miracle, and they'd be right in thinking that, but Kuro doesn't find it. It's on the lower half of this area as he covers this, but...
They actually have 2 of them. In fact, there's 3 real nice deep observer wards for VGJ.Thunder at the moment. And then 1 defensive one, which just times out.
So once again, Miracle is taken down. They are delaying him a decent amount, but again, it comes at a cost this time. They lost 2 cores, both Sylar and Freeze for that. And while you do get Miracle and GH, it's a relatively even trade actually, because Liquid is the leading team, so the kills do give more for VGJ.Thunder.
But Matumba's becoming an absolute boss. He's going a Radiance build on this Necro.
Don't blame him this game. He's having a good enough game. We haven't seen the Radiance Necrophos that much in this tournament, because I think a lot of the time you're better off going for more defensive items, but he hasn't really been counterpicked that hard in this game. There's some problems, but he solves them well with Hood, and if you're doing this well in the game, you might as well turn into the true carry of the lineup, actually. He is the position 1 for now.
Well, they're going to try and kill that position 1. Smoke into Smoke Gang. Kuro is going to be the first casualty of war. He'll get a stun off, and actually being the only one to die would be the biggest victory for Liquid. The tower may be the extra one to die.
Very quick reaction from GH there on the stun and silence, but still couldn't keep Kuro alive.
Well, Mind Control's finally going to get his wish.
Oh,
A reason for a Brewmaster split. Scythe is off cooldown at 8 seconds time.
This is the new Enigma, you know? It's the threat of the split. He's not even using it. It's like the black hole where we're like, oh, it's Enigma, it's right, so you get a good black hole off, but at the same time, you can have a huge impact in fights by just walking in close and being a threat. Mind Control just shows up, and they're like, nah, don't want to fight this guy. It works well. Has he split yet this game?
He has not. He tried up on the top lane and then failed.
18 minutes, no split. And it still feels like he's having a big impact. It's very interesting.
Oh, bottom lane, Freeze is pushing the lane. Miracle wants to do something about it. The Moonlight Shadow burns off again. Did they bring detection? They'll need it. The curse is out, and poor Vengeful Spirit. The arrow flies into. It actually helps to not kill off Kuro because Miracle didn't attack in.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Raindrop keeps him alive there as well. The Splinter Blast would have got the last hit, but I think you're right. If they don't arrow, he might have died anyway. So a bit of a mistake there coming in for Freeze.
He's probably just hoping to hit into Kuro, but the PL was...
that angle did not exist.
Yeah.
So...
Basala got time up on top lane, so they're building Leshrac bigger and bigger, trying to get him towards this Bloodstone.
Yeah, this is... I've been talking to some of the other people here about Bloodstone. I personally find this item to be pretty weak right now, and Leshrac is the only hero that I really like the item on, actually. You know, historically, we've seen it with success on a hero like Storm Spirit. Maybe it can still be like a 5th, 6th item on Tinker, but it seems like such an expensive build-up, and it's so snowbally. If you have 1 or 2 bad moves and you lose to charges, it feels like you've wasted your game away. But on Leshrac, he uses the mana so well to farm. It's really, really impactful on this hero, so I like to see Sylar going for it, and he's getting a good timing on it. This is a 19-minute Bloodstone with drums and wand.
Yeah.
So he's got it going for him, and if he keeps farming like this and gets to this BKB, you look at this Radiant lineup. They don't really kill him, actually.
This whole space for farming has been so good because the observer wards of VGJ.Thunder, they just see everything. Mind Control jumps in. All he wants to do is split. The Scythe is coming down, and the Brewmaster split is off. Leshrac dies so quickly. You said you couldn't kill him, and well, it's just the caster curse. But Toman will find himself a double kill, chasing Yang down into the trees. Miracle's all over him. Tiny cannot escape, and Fade can do nothing. He's got curse available, but Brewmaster has continuously controlled him. Mind Control will knock it off the back of Fade. GH will miss the kick, but with the urn and the jump forward, you know, Liquid are mopping up. Fade the last one to fall. 4 heroes lost in a great fight for Liquid.
In all fairness, Toby, I did say Leshrac, they can't kill him when he has BKB. And he did not have BKB, and he got burnt real bad. Because obviously, you look at this Radiant lineup, they have ridiculous magic damage. So if he gets jumped, He's gonna die. They Veil, they cast all of Earth Spirit spells, and they Reaper him. I think there might have even been a Brew Clap in that one as well. And he can't survive that.
Yang, don't think he really wants to come out for this fight. Silas moving over, looking for his own stun after lightning, but Yang just can't survive. The arrow is good. Onto the Necrophos, so the Pulse Nova from Silas can burn through him. A huge spree to end. It's Freeze who finds the kill, however, but a kill is a kill. Kuro will finally fall as well. They probably wanted that money onto the Leshrac for his BKB.
Or at least he got 2 Bloodstone charges back.
That is something.
Because he just picked up that Bloodstone and they went to fight with it straight away. This is something that happens a lot. I still think Sylar feels pretty good about his Bloodstone. It sucks to die once, of course, but it's still a valuable item for his farming pattern and his pace right now. But I think they probably need to farm up the BKB before they look for a true team fight again.
Yep.
Fighting against a Brewmaster like this with no BKBs is really tough. But when they get one on him and one on the Mirana, you see Freeze is closing in now after that big kill streak he ended on Matumba. They're going to be so much stronger. The timing that they hit with these 2 BKBs completely changes the way teamfights work. And I feel like you've got to, at this point, you've got to give PL that little bit of extra space to get there on your Lesh.
Well, everyone from VGJ is making that space. The push in from mid lane from Sylar, then send Tiny down to the bottom lane, trying to finish up a Shadow Blade. And then they just give up the top lane. Fade is hiding in the trees. He can't TP out yet. It's on cooldown for another 6 seconds. So the Splinter Blast gets rid of Miracle's illusions. But he's 5 gold away. That 90 gold per minute is kicking in. Blink Dagger's up. So you've got the jump in, but Liquid go for Roshan. If they find this out, if Freeze... Actually, he's already used Arrow, so we can't use Arrow to scout. This Roshan belongs to Liquid.
I'm not sure if they're aware. They might be aware and feel like they can't take the fight. I wouldn't blame them for that. It's a really tough fight for them to take. Liquid has the strong position here. They have the Brewmaster split. Necrophos is obviously extremely strong in these kind of fights where they're all together. The last time they got the kill, it was more of a fragmented fight. But in a true 5-on-5, it's tough until they get their BKBs. I'm pretty sure VGJ knew what's going on, but
Silas coming for the mid. Gonna hit the stun over on GH, but Tumman and Kuro are both in the neighborhood, and they just swap back in the poor Ogre Magi. And the kick, it connected onto Fade. He was coming in for the perfect curse, but it really is his own curse. He Reapered Scythe to death.
He blinked into the stun. He saw 4 heroes together, and he's like, yes, this is my free kill with Blink Curse. Unfortunately, bad angle. However, Miracle Bottom is in a lot of trouble here.
But he can tank up. He just turns the hood on, actually survived through a lot, but can't get the shrine.
Not enough. That's a BKB. Freeze with another one. Miracle is actually dying a decent amount now.
Sylar's in trouble. Bloodstone charges, say goodbye to him. There's no Reaper's Scythe available. Sylar going to burn the drum charge, trying to get around the Brewmaster. And wait, he actually... Sure, had to. Pop the Bloodstone. Kill himself off GH. Battling against Ogre Magi with the help of Kuro. The 2 supports work together. The arrow flies in. Perfect 5-second stun. A lot of rebuttals across the map. There's no space being given just to get the free farm. The only farm you're getting is of heroes' deaths.
This Bloodstone is starting to feel bad already. Now it's rough. He had this... This is why it's such a difficult item, right? Because I really liked it as a pickup. I think it's good. But if these 2 fights happen like this and he loses all these charges, this item lost so much value. It still gives him the health. It gives him the mana. It's not like it's terrible. But value-wise, once you lose half the charges, this item just doesn't really seem like you get what you paid for anymore.
Like, would you have just preferred something like a Lincoln Sphere, block a Reaper's Scythe, anything?
I think it could maybe, but I like the Bloodstone, so I don't think it was a problem. But if you could have predicted this would happen, I think it would have changed his mind and probably gone Drum into straight BKB and then get or Drum Yules maybe, so he has some mana regen and then get the BKB after. The problem that Leshrac faces is in order to farm fast, you need a lot of mana regen, and this is just the best item you can get for it. The health is nice too. It's just not enough right now.
Gank is on the way from Yang. Under the cover of his Shadow Blade. Isn't real cover when there's so many sentry wards down. Kuro already de-warded one of the obs. It had 2 seconds left on it from VGJ.Thunder, and they have the obs and sentry on the hillside. So the Shadow Blade from Yang won't catch anybody by surprise. In fact, they're trying to catch him by surprise. Pull him back in. The Avalanche does miss its target. Toss is available. Just throws him up and back down again. Support's coming in from GH on the side. And, well, Yang goes invis. Dust is available. They got all the detection in the world to kill off this Tiny. And Fade will die as well on bottom lane as Miracle catches him a long way from home and friends.
Yep. Liquid are taking advantage of the split of VGJ right now. I think they're being a bit too greedy with how they're showing their heroes. Wyvern being bottom, this Tiny going in far up top, and at the same time, Matumba Man is already pushing out mid, so Liquid just spreading their resources better. And once again, gotta wait for this Lesh BKB, man. It's coming up in 30 gold. Let's hope he doesn't die right now. That would be the worst timing ever.
Matumba was right behind him, and Mind Control again, just itching for a reason to split.
Freeze with Ogre. No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
They need to see the real Miracle. Miracle went for this Shadow Blade build.
Dire's middle tower
So if he attacks, Starfall comes down, Miracle waits it out. He's got another 3 seconds of this invis and then isolates DDC with the Diffuser Blade as well. DDC just can't outrun it. He can't stun it. I think he doesn't know which one's the real Miracle. And while that's going on, Team Liquid just go high run. The BKB is up for Sylar. So he has the ability to farm, and now they'll instantly have to use it in the stun. Even into the curse.
Oh,
they can't
no.
attack. They're stunning up the heroes who are meant to be killing off the Brewmaster. Now Mind Control could get the split off. They burn through the Aegis Immortal of Necro, as well as the life of Kuro. And they need to go again into Necrophos. He cannot survive this, or can he? With the scythe, he'll get a revenge onto Sylar, and the dead body! He throws it forward to get the kill onto Necrophos, but this Magnetize is just so damn good from GH. They'll take the mid tower. Miracle arrives. It's like, well, this was a really great fight, everybody.
Yeah. I'm here, guys. Let's get the racks. Where's my Necrophos? Oh, well. Okay, he's got to back off because of the Mirana buyback here, but yeah, big win for Liquid. And honestly, that could have gone real grim for them. I think if VGJ.Thunder don't
they're
watch
tossing
their spells a bit.
Tossing Miracle back in again. They need the detection dust. It will be burnt off, so they can see Miracle. Freeze, however, can't outrun it. Thanks to Diffuser Blade, it just holds him there. There's no jumps available, and this is actually a real disaster for him. You'll wait for him to fall, and no fade. Blink Dagger's away just in time. The Brewmaster's looking for another target as Tiny underneath the range racks. Does Liquid really want to come back in for this fight? The answer is definitely yes. Kuro swapping in Yang. He's down for 50 seconds. Buyback is available, but this now makes the mid ranks possible, and Liquid, they'll stick at it with Miracle at least. No, just fake miracles.
Look how quickly this snowballed. Like, the game was looking pretty close, and Liquid makes this aggressive move in mid. And if VGJ chained their spells better in this situation, I really like the toss that they got into the base and got the 2-hero combination.
Yep.
They curse.
But then the curse timing, right?
So they curse the Brew, which I don't think is bad. Then he doesn't get the split off in the start. And they do get the split Earth off, ultimately, but there's just so much damage being wasted in the curse duration, where if you have a little bit more crisp timing, perhaps this goes a little bit better, and Matumba doesn't get to deal all the damage he does in the end before support arrives from Miracle from all the way down south. So they're probably kicking themselves a little bit. They definitely had an opportunity there to get a great fight. Liquid just took a big advantage out of it. They're like, okay, if you guys are going to make this mistake and we're still alive, we're going to get in, we're going to force the buybacks. Sure, they don't get the racks, but it's a 10k lead now.
Got more Yangs. He actually,
bottom tower is under attack.
yep, away to safety, even with a dust pop.
Oh, that's a big item here.
BKB for Matumba.
Yeah. He realizes he needs it this game. I agree with this. I think he will go Shiva next. Just play inside that BKB. Obviously, you can't use Ghost Shroud during BKB, but more than likely he won't need to. The physical damage of the Dire is not that significant yet. Mirana's damage item is Maelstrom, so that doesn't really do much to the BKB. The Tiny, sure, he hits decently hard, but can he really hit him multiple times in a row realistically? Probably not. And Leshrac is completely negated, except Edict.
Yep.
So
You'll need to wait. You actually almost need to delay the game so BKB timings get lower.
Yeah, I think you have to try to... This is the tricky thing, right? You really want to kill the Necrophos because he deals so much passive damage in the fight when he has the Wraith.
Ah, DDC, that was real late. The rest of his team was backing off, and he threw down the Observer Ward on top of the Observer Ward that Liquid already had down.
Whoops.
Yeah. And
Lame.
you do that in range of a gem of Mind Control.
Kuro wanted to swap. Doesn't get it, though.
Oh, they get Mind Control. Yang, Arrow's going to be able to connect. Freeze just BKBs. He doesn't want anything messing up with this. And the curse, it comes down just so Brewmaster will die. The scythe from Matumba, one of the very rare times it doesn't actually hit hard. And Kuro is able to at least gather the gem back.
But Miracle
Freeze
finds...
Sylar and Freeze, they're all here. Well, Sylar can probably burn the BKB to dodge that magic missile. Friends are coming in. Fade's in the neighborhood, but he doesn't have the Curse of Verbal and Yang. Avalanche Toss needs to create a lot of space. Avalanche does, so Sylar can walk off, and Wyvern has to take it for the team, but Sylar is still on the run, and GH is in front of him. Rolling boulders forward, puts the urn on. There's no jumping away from this. DDC's hunted down by Miracle, and VGJ.Thunder doesn't even require the full force of Team Liquid to find these kills. They just pair off and hunt in small packs.
They got a huge positional advantage there. I'm not sure how VGJ.Thunder ended up having Mirana and Leshrac down there in the jungle on their own, but that's just not good enough. You're going to get punished way too hard. Liquid just overwhelmed them with numbers, really. It wasn't much else than that. VGJ's team was just totally fragmented. And that's easy kills into racks, and all of a sudden this game looks like it could be over pretty soon. And
yeah,
if you're VGJ, you feel like you probably blew an opportunity you might have had with just getting these BKBs and getting one good team fight together. It just didn't ever really happen.
It's just
Liquid are looking for at least this tier 2.
You kind of wish like that. They had a moment. They had some moments where the Tiny could have got the initiation off. They came in with their Bloodstone, but that's got 4 charges on it now. And it looks like Team Liquid will be safe about things. They're going to slip back. They were picking out Roshan as they take out the Shrine.
The thing about this Liquid lineup that you need to keep in mind as well is when this kind of lineup is ahead in a fight, they take so much. They have Swap, they have the Earth Spirit, and GH is playing really, really well this game. He's just landing spell after spell. He's barely had any mistakes, except that one kick bottom that we pointed out is pretty much the reason we haven't said much is maybe we kind of haven't praised him enough, if anything. It hasn't been much to criticize, right? He's just landing absolutely everything.
Like the magnetize that happened underneath the tier 3 tower in mid, like that basically won the fight.
It's really crisp the way he spellcasts on this hero. He's very good at identifying the opportunity, because moments of opportunity when you're playing Earth Spirit are sometimes really short, and just getting that 2-hero stun silence almost every single fight is just setting up so much space for his team. And that's the kind of stuff that wins games. It's the outnumbering, it's the better usage of the map and moving, and the way they kind of ping-pong between their 2 big cores in this game. Matumba Man and Miracle are kind of making space for each other. It's like they're taking turns when their heroes are strong at making the moves. And in the end, they both reap this huge reward as Miracle. Is that a full heart he almost has now?
That's almost a full heart. The swap, Sylar can't finish his TP out. They'll have to Moonlight Shadow Burn as well. The Wave of Terror flies forward, and here comes GH. Sentry Ward planted. Your Scepter is up, and Fate has to curse. Create some space, but Kuro, he's just far enough away. Splinter Blast will come out. Nurse Spirit taking a lot of damage, but then Brewmaster into the split and the control. Sylar just cannot do anything right in this game. GH will roll out. He will die on the way out of there. Ignite was on his back from DDC, but because Mind Control has already got this great split off, he was looking for his secondary control kill. Or maybe just Miracle does it. Double damage under tier 4 towers. He can't battle through
Oh, nice blink.
Fade's control, and yeah, he gets out before any attack can come. Freeze will now burn his own BKB. What is this? Avalanche toss up. Miracle just doesn't care. He's got his own heart. He wants to take the damage because he'll just regenerate. And Matamaman will arrive too. Aegis Immortal in hand. They're forcing VGJ.Thunder to come out and fight. And Sylar, Scythe, goodbye. 2 minutes on the sideline, and GG is called. Team Liquid have just rolled this game.
They really just got outclassed in this game. I think Liquid, first of all, Matumba Man's destruction of the mid lane. In my mind, this lane is not this Necrophos favorite, if at all. I think it is a lane that Mirana does very well in, but he ran over Freeze. Let's be honest here. That was a stomping in that mid lane. And the other lanes, sure, Miracle didn't have the best start. He actually got pressured pretty hard by the Tiny. But what ends up happening is this classic Liquid dynamic where the guy who's doing well is going to be like, I'm strong, let's play together. And then you play with the strong guy, and the guy who needs to catch up, Miracle had like 5 uninterrupted minutes where he was just farming jungle and lane. He comes out with the Shadow Blade Diffuse, and he's like, I want to join the game now. No, I'm having fun. It's like, everybody has fun. And you just win. Great.
Yeah. Nice start to the day. Well done, Team Liquid.
Yep.
Game 1 up, and with one more victory, it will 100% ensure that they take #1 spot in the group, which gives them the choice when it comes to who they play from the other group in that quarterfinal. So, hey, maybe you can actually secure yourself all the way in to, I wouldn't say the semi, actually. It's the round of...
It's a top 6 if you win the first round upper bracket.
Yeah.
I think. Isn't it? I think it always is. There's 8 teams in the upper bracket. If you win the first round, there's 4 teams in the upper bracket. And when
You eliminate 8 teams before you get through. So yeah, it's you top 8. You get top 8.
Is it top 8 only?
It's top 8. It's top
maybe
8.
I'm thinking of another format.
I'm doing the grid in my brain right now as top 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I'm wrong, hey, blame me. All right, we'll come back in just a bit, everybody. We'll save Cinderin and just kill me. Team Liquid, Game 2 versus VGJ.Thunder in just a sec. Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
No,
I just looked at something. I'll explain
Okay.
it in a second.
Oh, would you? Why
I
not
would.
now? Why not now, Cinderin?
I figured we'll just introduce what game we're watching. We're watching
We could do that, but-
Team Liquid versus VGJ.Thunder. I just looked over on my screen to make sure I said it right. Game number 2. So what I was just quickly looking at was what's at stake in this last game, because after the first game that Team Liquid took, Liquid are still tied for first with EG, which means if Liquid are to win this game, they get first place in the group, whereas VGJ.Thunder are now guaranteed lower bracket. And they actually do not have anything to play for in this game, because if they were to win and Fnatic were to lose, those two teams would be tied for 5th. But VGJ.Thunder lost the heads up.
Yep.
Or head-to-head. They were 0-2 against Fnatic. So that means VGJ.Thunder, no matter what happens, they're 6th place. Liquid, they're playing for first. That's pretty much happening here. But this group is actually still super exciting. So we've got some other news for you guys, because Winstrike managed to grab game number 1 against OG. So now Winstrike are 4 wins, and so is Invictus Gaming. So we could have a tiebreaker for last place in this group. An elimination game could be happening later on today, unless Winstrike win, in which case there's no tiebreaker.
Hey, if OG let him pick Undying in the next game, then yeah, maybe it will actually be, and IG would be out in the first.
Would you believe it?
In the group stage? It's so hard to believe.
Q getting last place at TI is, I don't think what's the worst result Q has ever got? I actually don't know. He was in C-Deck. They got 2nd place at TI 5. I feel like he played another run. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. He might have had another lower half run. But I do think he got another top 6. Something is telling me that. I could be wrong.
You should look it up. You have the reference machine. I already alt-tabbed once, and I'm like, oops, I shouldn't be doing that. That's so you guys can see this wonderful draft. And we have Necrophos and Pugna. We are looking to amplify everything from VGJ.Thunder, but Team Liquid first phase pick up the Brood Mother with a Vengeful Spirit.
So there's my theory from last game about why they didn't pick Brood. It's a bit out of the window. I was like, they might want to not draw too much attention to it. Like, whatever, man. We're playing for first place in the group. We'll show them another Brood.
It's just like we looked back. Did EG win? EG won? All right, serious business.
All right, Brood.
It's like, let's just pick the hero we can win on, and then they'll give it to Mind Control.
That's unlikely.
It is very unlikely.
Yeah, so obviously when you look at these picks from VGJ.Thunder, you see 2 heroes that can't really kill Spiderlings, and they're both cores, most likely. So Liquid are like, okay, you know what? We'll put Brood mid. Let's see what you guys can do. And what they're going to accomplish is they're probably going to make VGJ.Thunder. Necrophos is actually okay in this lane. He's going to farm, but he's not going to pressure Broodmother at all, so Brood can just free farm the jungle. They might look toward another hero and put Necrophos in the side lane. We'll see. We'll see what VGJ.Thunder thinks.
Just switch the Pugna around. This is VGJ.Thunder, right? You've got ROTK sitting there. It's like, sorry, Pugna offlane is a thing.
Just pick Pugna and Furion and push all the towers at 10.
Yep.
That's how I got 2nd place at TI.
They
Shadow Shaman 2, guys. Let's go.
It's just, I mean, the way you say that makes it sound like it's such a negative thing. I got 2nd place at TI, but
just play my strategy, guys. Push all the towers. Trust me, it works.
Do it 3 games in a row. Didn't work the first time. That's only because you didn't execute it correctly.
Yep.
Execute it right, damn it.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, you need the Lion. You need to go for the Cinderin strat. Full amplification with magical burst damage around Decrepify.
They could look for some aggressive plays with the Decrepify with a 3rd core that uses it. I could definitely see that. What you need to be careful with is if you tunnel vision too hard on magic amplification, your lineups often end up being extremely susceptible to BKB. Because I'm a big fan of the idea of obviously heroes play off each other, and having natural synergy can be really useful both in lanes and later on in the game. But you need to still make sure that you don't, like, you can imagine a lineup that has incredible synergy with itself, but is countered by an item that the enemy team can get. Like, you can have the most ridiculous magic lineup that is like, oh my god, if we just land all our spells, it's great. But then you make one mistake and the enemy team gets one item, and all of a sudden, oh, we can land all... Oh, actually, we can't land any of our spells because they're magic immune. So you got to try to look for that well-rounded type of lineup where you cover your bases and still have synergies. And for now, I kind of like the idea of a synergy with the Decrepify, but I think it should be a support, not a core. So
Yeah,
your Lion
that's
is
like
not
Lion.
bad.
That's what it's like Lion.
Definitely could be a thing.
It
Still gotta be careful
have
with their lanes.
It doesn't have the greatest pushback against the Broodmother is the problem. Like, at least when Broodmother just becomes this big fighting hero, then you'll have something more direct. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Good Wyvern ban, by the way. That's one of the best supports against Brood for 2 reasons. First of all, you can kill off the Spiderlings with Splinter Blast. You have the Curse against all the spiders, and you have the Cold Embrace against Brood's physical damage.
We have Mr. Magical Burst.
Yeah. Okay.
If everyone wants to group up quite nicely on a decrypified target, then yep.
Boom. Good against Brood when it comes to having a dagger. Until that point, I would consider Shaker a pretty weak hero against Broodmother. You have 1 fissure, and the spiders don't care; they just run through it in a web.
Yeah.
So
5 seconds remaining.
I don't really think this is the solution to how Liquid played their Brood, unless if they can just stall out the game and not get too out farmed. But the last time we saw teams try to do that, they got too out farmed. So I would really love to see something a bit more aggressive from VGJ.Thunder. I think the teams of this tournament that I've seen so far, their approach to beating Brood has largely been too defensive. Like you got to fight early on before Brood gets too powerful. Fight his team or fight the Brood.
Yep.
Take advantage of the fact that this hero is not good early on. It needs a spider army and it needs 1 or 2 items. And until that point, you can maybe power play your opponents a little bit. We did see VP lose a game earlier today with Brood, actually. They lost to VG Gaming in game 1. And I think VG played much higher temp. They had a Spectre carry, I remember that, and I think they just fought a lot. Something is telling me they really fought a lot.
Oh, we're just like we're bugging up.
There we go.
Monkey King will be the pickup from VGJ, but Brood and Nyx together. Now we're just missing our... Well, Weevil was already banned, so we can't go full bugs.
Yeah. That would be...
OP.
I don't know. It would be disgusting. This Monkey King pick is obviously a lane counter to Broodmother. We saw it earlier this tournament. We had Ramses on Brood against CCNC Monkey King. CCNC had a bad time. He got ganked by Silencer, and then he lost the lane and lost his tower minus 7.
Do you end up actually getting the Monkey King against the Broodmother in the lanes? Because now we're starting to, like, Pugna, Necro, Monkey, where do they fit in? Is this now a 5 Pugna?
No, I think they last picked their 5, actually.
Then that's fine?
Yeah, I think so. At this point, the nice thing about heroes like Necro and Pugna is that they can play all 3 lanes, both of them. So they're free to put the monkey in. This is a godlike pick, though. Wow. That is so good, this game.
You're saying it in game 1. Fantastic against the Necrophos.
Awful matchup for Necro, awful matchup for Monkey King, and bad matchup for Pugna. This hero is super good this game. That's a really, really good call from whoever suggested this on Liquid, whether it was Kuro or one of his teammates. Maybe Mind Control's just like, hey, Kuro, I want to play Bad Ride this game. Kuro's like, we don't really play... Oh, it's real.
Yeah, that definitely sounds exactly like Kuro.
Yep. This pick has really won me over. I think this lineup from Liquid looks extremely scary, and VGJ are going to struggle to deal with.
Is there a fifth position that can just shut down a Bat Rider? Like, what does Bat Rider hate the most, apart from Nyx Assassin, who's currently in the Team Liquid lineup?
The best 5 against Bat is Oracle. Because you can just purge off the Firefly, or sorry, the Sticky Napalm, and you can false promise away the lasso, but Oracle's just a pretty weak laner. An Oracle Shaker support duo, that sounds pretty weak.
Yeah.
Like your lanes are not going to hold up to the
Brood's
pressure.
also going to munch down the Oracle the second any kind of team fight happens. Into the backline is just goodbye.
Yeah. That's tough. I feel like Liquid kind of trump card them with this Bat pick. And I'm just curious to see what VGJ.Thunder do. So they ban out the Spectre because they feel like right now Liquid can make so much space in the game with Bat Rider and Brute that they could pick whatever they wanted for Miracle. I kind of think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Miracle's like, what do you want to play, Miracle? They could play Animage this game. This is the game.
Oh, you're going... okay, we're not applauding an Animage pickup.
This is the game. This is where you can play Animage.
Right, they'll just give him something like the... I want to say the Invoker. You just give him something comfortable.
Animage.
That's all. Dude,
I want to see. I just want to see it. I'm like this.
It's not that great against this lineup.
It's really not that good of a hero right now. But
just want to give it a win rate. Let's play a Slark then. At least we can tick off.
Oh, AM is a way better pick than Slark in this game.
Oh, that's because everything's better than a Slark. But
not going to disagree with that one. That's pretty true.
But it's the ability to tick off the 7 heroes who have not been played yet.
I think Miracle's like, Kuro, pick me AM. I want to play AM.
Maybe Miracle's like, hey, Kuro, like, I'll play Vengeful Spirit. You play something else.
I'm looking at what else they could want to pick. So the Spectre would have been nice, for sure. It's just, let me look at the hero list. What does Miracle want to play? I'm trying to get inside the head of Miracles. Like, we're through Kuro. We're going to win this game. I want to have fun. Morphling?
Morphling, Juggernauts in the pool. If they're banning Phantom Lancer.
Jugger is not bad either. That's actually also a pretty damn good pick this game. I could definitely see that one being Miracle's choice. Oh, let's see.
Come on, Kuro. I didn't think this one would be that hard for him.
If they pick Antimage, you owe me a drink.
Sure. They're free in the lobby.
Not those drinks.
Oh,
10
okay.
seconds remaining.
The deluxe drink.
Mine
The
needs
ones
to,
they only have out the back.
they need to have the umbrella.
Yep.
If it doesn't have an umbrella, it's not a real drink.
I want one with an umbrella and an olive. And I hate olives, but I just want it to be there. So I know it's deluxe.
In fact, how many drinks come with both an umbrella and an olive? It's like the opposite way. Like olive is culture. Like umbrella is like
VGJ.Thunder's turn.
Riki.
since lesson.
That is so good. Oh, that is so perfect. Like, Miracle can pick anything this game. Kuro, give me Riki. Give me Riki. Oh my god, that's so funny, actually. My god. That's it. You know, that's where they're like, we can pick anything.
Can Ricky on board with the Bat Rider when he jumps into? Hey, we actually got the Juggernaut. It's there for VGJ.Thunder.
Position 4 Pugna. Or 5 Pugna and a 4 Shaker, actually. Looks
Yep.
like it.
Silas just picking this now because he's got the great cosmetics. Like that's a lot of sick cosmetics on the Jugger.
So I feel like we need to give Riki a little bit of credit and just talk about why they picked it. Because obviously we were looking at this. We think Liquid's in a great position with the draft. They have so many ways of pressuring. So Miracle can get away with a lot of different stuff. I think the reason they really like the Riki this game is that the value of Smokescreen is exceptional. And he's a hero that can find Monkey King too. So it really is annoying playing Necrophos against this. You're going to have to buy Force Staff or you can't cast Ghost Shroud. Similar story for Pugna. And when it comes to Shaker as well, until you get that dagger or get some sort of way of maneuvering, if you don't see Riki, the map is actually kind of terrifying right now. Look at Liquid's lineup. When heroes are missing, this sucks, man. Like, you could get ganked by Nyx Riki, you could get ganked by Riki Bat, you could get ganked by Nyx Bat. Like, if these cores are off the map, everywhere it's just a minefield. You're going to need to buy so many sentries. And I can't wait to see this position 5 Pugna buy 20 sentries and have brown boots minute 15.
And yeah,
That's tough, man.
I can't wait to see Freeze throw down a Wukong command and then Miracle just go trick to the trade. And,
True,
and then you get Circle on top of Circle, and there's no way that Freeze can stay inside of his own ultimate.
That's a really good point too, actually.
BSJ is going to be like maniacally laughing out the back, going, the crappiest hero in the game right now.
BSJ hates Monkey King.
Yeah,
he thinks this hero is really bad.
He does.
He's really bad. BSJ, not the hero.
Oh. Really?
Got him.
Honestly,
I kind of like Monkey King, but some of the things that BSJ is saying some of the things he's saying are definitely true. Like
I remember you saying out the back before, like, if the best player in the world can't win with Monkey King, is Monkey King good?
did I say that?
Yeah, you were looking at No G game at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Thompson plays an exceptional Monkey King, but there were other problems in that game. Thompson was having a great game, but nobody else was. And I don't think, like, you can't really put a hero like that and be like, well, if you're doing great, you should just win. Like, that's not how Dota works. Then you just, oh, I'm leading minute 5, game over, man.
Hey,
you know,
if that happened, why would my MMR be as low as it is?
That's not how Dota works. Your team needs to be with you. But I think one of the things BSJ is talking about with Monkey King, which is definitely a good point, is that this hero falls off a lot harder than many other heroes do. You can be doing really well in the start, you can get kills, you can get farm, but when it comes to team fights later on, 1 or 2 bad moves where you die, the drop-off of this hero seems a lot more severe than others. What the hell is that courier?
I know, right? He's just such a happy kind of guy, but that's not even the courier. That's the Monkey King. They ping him out. Like, last time I saw Monkey King play, he went in sniping couriers.
What is this courier?
And
is that like a mini Furion?
I honestly don't know. Like, it's like he's the keeper of the inn where all the treants stay the night.
It looks like half Satyr, half Furion. Furion, what did you do to Ricky? Okay, let's move on. So, top lane, Mind Control will be playing a Bat Rider up here for now. It looks like he's going to be facing Yang in the top lane with the help of Fade on Earthshaker. In toward the mid, we have Keeper of the Inn. Bottom lane, DDC and Sylar will be playing as Pugna Jugger. Very nice natural synergy between these two heroes, obviously Decrepify and Spin. Miracle, they don't know he's here, but he's bottom on Ricky for now.
And
with
they got
Kuro and
friends.
GH. Yep.
They got friends. So he's body blocking DDC in so the magic missile can connect. GH will follow up with the impel. Sylar, what are you going to do? You're going to spin for the rune? GH is actually going back for the rune so Kuro can get the first blood onto DDC. And Sylar, he's running home. He's running away. Miracle will be playing this offlane, Ricky.
Yeah, but he's definitely going to get farm priority. Ricky is the type of hero where if you're putting him in a core role, you don't want him to have nothing.
Kuro's not giving up this
Definitely
chase.
space.
Okay, maybe he'll move because Yang is they're lane rotating.
Yeah, they want to face Bat with Jugger, but Liquid are reading the movement and they're mirroring it. And they're crossing, and they won't know that Miracle's doing this until now. The waves are clashing bottom. Miracle's not taking CS. Okay, he's definitely crossing. Now we get the situation. Are you going to keep mind gaming or not? Like, do you want to swap again? Looks like that is...
Yeah, Sylar's turned around. Sylar's coming back down to the bottom lane while Yang will be farming it up because they got ES. Fade is currently getting free time as the Earthshaker on top lane. And Miracle's about to arrive in a second. And Kuro is waiting for a courier snipe in mid lane. And it looks like we're getting the same kind of move from DDC. This just feels like musical chairs is what we're playing at the moment.
Yep.
There's the first TP. So Pugna will come to the bottom lane to work with Sylar.
Skilled the blast though, not the decrep. Decrep plus spin has so much damage potential. Yeah, that's the lane swap. So mind control TP top, Sylar more than likely going to follow him the moment he sees this Bat Rider top. And successfully, VGJ get the lanes they want. Sylar just needs to get into the tree line and TP top and not get stunned. It's very important he does not get stunned right now.
Well, GH just used his stun for 10 seconds, and Sylar just does the TP instantly.
Yep.
And Yang says hello. Arrives in. Mid lane, slap down and freeze.
Damn.
Oh, he was just prepping it up. 2 points in the Boundless Strike, and
All right.
tip and tilt, tip and tilt.
My man tips Yang. Good tip, bro. Well played. Tips him back.
Well, it's a really nice day if you freeze. Obviously, a lot of that CS is Spiderlings, but he's 13-4.
I don't know how much of it is Spiderlings. I think he hasn't killed a single one, actually. He is just dominating the lane. He's really far ahead on net worth. Getting that solo kill gave him 300. You subtract that from his grand total right now, and you can see he's still far ahead of the Broodmother. So a lot of just natural CS in this lane that, yeah, this is a totally different story from the Brood versus Monkey King game we saw, I think it was the day before yesterday, or was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Where CCNC was playing against Ramses in mid. This one is looking so much better for Freeze right now.
But this is also that time where you look at the supports for VGJ, and Earthshaker's got so much to work with as well. Like, he's already got his level 3. He can try and harass directly into mind control. Yang won't be so lucky. Trying to juke it out. He can't do that, however. DDC was a little bit too far away to help him out.
Yeah. This is an expensive lane for Liquid to run like this, though. They're tri-laning still with a Ricky and a Venge. Venge is level 1 as a result of this. And like you said, in the top lane, we already got Fade as well as Sylar, both level 3.
They're chasing mind control. The fissure is out. You got a level 2 spin, and this should be enough damage to kill off mind control. He can't take to the sky. He's got 3 stick charges, but Sylar just needs 2 more swings with the crit.
Stop this attack.
No, Sylar, not like this, not like this, not like this. He's still regenerating the attack with the sticky napalm. Sylar's going to go down to mind control.
He stopped his attack, Toby. He stopped it. He actually animation canceled. He can follow through with that attack even if mind control tries to fog him. Oh well, bottom lane. A lot more damage onto Yang.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult when DDC gets the Nether Ward at level 2. They think twice about fighting.
Yep. Interesting choice. I think
Sylar's going again for the kill. Fissure's not available. They'll go into the trees. What, round 2? Starts to spin. The Fissure will be available. Mind control will go straight over the top of it. Sylar can't reach him. The Dire Creep Wave's going to keep giving him the extra information.
not this again.
It is exactly this again. The Dire Creep Wave's still there. There's no TP support coming up from the bottom lane. I think they're still looking for another gank, another fight.
Oh, Fade?
Yeah, he's rotated in. He'll miss the stun, and he can't even cancel the salve of mind control. What the hell is going on?
This top lane is really something.
Clowny.
That's quite something. Yeah.
We have an illusion rune scouting out Monkey King, scouting out Broodmother. Sorry.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah. And this is a good job from VGJ.Thunder, by the way, getting the sentry out this early against Matoma Man. So this camp that he wants to play off is going to be blocked until they reopen it. And we'll see if he even realizes, because if he clears this camp after 5 minutes, he won't know until 6 minutes that it's blocked. Let's see. He is just going to be on time, so he will know that this is indeed blocked.
His spiders are even waiting, and yep,
Oh, MC got one. He keeps running down Fade. Fade has the fissure. He's going to get this rune. And
that's 5 sticky napalm stacks, though. Like, if Mind Control has managed to dodge death so many times, he won't kill off Fade.
Bottom line.
Dire are scattered.
Good to crap.
Saving Yang for the moment. He's still got 10 stick charges as well.
Is under attack.
But no point in Ghost Shroud.
It's going to scale at level 4.
Yeah.
He has that in one creep, and then he's going to be fine. This is the price you pay for playing tri-lanes. The levels on Liquid's heroes down here are not that hot. Like Kuro level 2.5. Miracle's level 4. GH level 3. It's not too bad, but...
Radiant's
Mind Control's hunting Sylar. Sylar's
Bottom
already
lane.
used his spin, but he'll be okay.
Fissure.
Bottom lane, yep. You get the stun off. GH trying to go for the run. Spike Carapace was just up long enough for DDC's Nether Blast not to have an effect. And Miracle throws down the smoke screen to try and create some space, but GH's regeneration. And he's even going to salve just to be safe.
That was not necessary, actually. But that's fine. He can go Shrine with his buddy, Matu. And Kuro. Probably going to 3-man Shrine here. Keep Miracle bottom.
Kuro's got the sentry ward. He hasn't actually pinged it out just yet, so like, they can open up that camp right now if they wanted to.
Matumba seems unaware. He might have thought at the time that he blocked it himself, but that would have been twice in a row by now. He would have blocked it in minute 6. So this sentry is really good value, actually. Not getting that camp is big. Oh, Yang. Yang's dead. Oh, maybe not. Sick fissure.
He's out. So Ghost Shroud and Death Pulse available. GH's Spike Carapace is weared off and through the trees and down. Another fissure available in a couple of seconds. DDC uses the Decrepify and Blast. Fade, he can go for the Totem Stump, but now with the Earth Spike, GH, he'll lock him in, but Freeze, he arrives in the fight. Miracle thought he could get a lot out of this, but now he just gives a buffed up Monkey King, looking to pound in towards Kuro, who will find that revenge onto DDC, but no, he actually has stick charges available. More life comes back, and Team Liquid going all out in this bottom lane fight. Fade, he'll use the Mango to allow Freeze to capitalize.
Really nice rotation there from Freeze, and he doesn't even lose much damage on his mid tower. Matu is spending the time trying to catch up in the jungle. So therefore the tower mid looks totally fine, and he basically turned that fight around in a big way, saving one hero and getting 2 or 3 kills. Nicely done.
And that efficiency shrine. And space for Sylar.
Yep. Bad Rider did retreat into the jungle. Mind Control has, however, almost found level 7. He actually has really good levels this
DDC has found a friend.
Oh, it's not a friend.
GH is moving over as well, but they're a little too slow to keep up with that Pugna. 389 movement speed. And maybe it's time to start taking some of those towers with DDC. A lot of tier 1 towers still up. Restrict that area.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage.
I'll give it to
Could be a
Miracle.
part of that play. They're letting Freeze deal a lot of damage here in mid. He's going to have to back off now that GH shows. Actually, he's... I don't know about this one, man. Okay, he retreats for a bit.
He's a little down. Miracle. Okay, they waited long enough. Now they can actually put down the smoke screen. Monkey King not escaping, not with the double damage rune out. The TP, whoops, can't come in fast enough from Fade.
I'm surprised he didn't see this one coming, to be honest. I mean, it's obvious for us, right, when we're watching this.
Well,
But
you
the
can see
bottom lane's empty.
Decrepify Blast, Mind Control very quickly TPs away to safety, all the way home as well.
Yeah. Yang was left alone bottom for quite a while. This was a really big rotation from Liquid, but getting the Monkey King kill makes it worth it. And you got to consider, they even had a ward down here themselves, actually, that also had no info, so... Well, sometimes those moves work, and Liquid get a big reward out of it with that kill. Who got the kill? Miracle got the kill even. That's perfect for them. Ring of Aquila is going into DDC top. Good damage.
Yeah, with the tricks of the trade, DDC will protect himself with Decrepify, however. It looks like Kuro's finally going to do something about getting some vision up on top lane. Watch the movements. And they're giving GH the bottom lane to play with.
Wait, I forgot to ask, is this the first Ricky pick of the tournament?
No.
Nor.
You have to do that every time.
It's really tempting. I kind of can't resist.
Every time.
Yeah, I do.
I'm checking.
All right. Oh, keep checking. We'll surely miss the kills top. Meanwhile, all right, GH. GH's gonna die to an Omni Slash. And
Didn't miss anything, damn it.
Blade Fury. So Sala did use his entire combo there onto GH, but that's still a good kill. And the bounty runes already claimed one up top by Freeze. Looks to be a maybe 3-for-1 actually if they do manage to reach this bottom one, as Mind Control is going on DDC. Will get the kill. Reaper is ready. Not going for it.
Wasn't enough of a follow-up. No, rotating in towards mid lane too after the kill up on top. Trying to combo with the Monkey King. Miracle's looking at it, but he's doesn't have enough power against Freeze just yet, and with Fade hovering behind, a Fissure will always be there to save.
GH is coming though, the Invis bros are ready.
Yep,
they need +1 for
Mind
this.
Control's killing off Yang on the bottom lane. In the meantime, DDC going to get the Decrepify, actually buffing up the damage. They have to drop this Scythe. There was no other solution, but Mind Control will still survive through it with the attack from the tower and bottle charges. Cannot repair the damage.
Meanwhile, Liquid to try the kill onto Monkey King in the mid, but Freeze stays alive. I actually think they misplayed it a bit. GH, I think, didn't get the Vendetta hit off, and that could have made the difference there. So they didn't get the kill. Fade was there to protect with Fissure, and Freeze backs out, uses the Shrine. He's good to go again. And maybe looks to make a move up top here with Kuro sitting in the lane on Vengeful. Looks very tasty as a kill, but well, now there's a Riki too. They have no detection between them, do they? No dust,
He
no dust.
can replace this tree that's missing.
Shaker has dust. They're going to go for this.
Comes in close, bounce forward. Miracle reveals himself, start with a stun, into the spin, follow-up Fidget Control, but Tricks of the Trade still comes out, and they have to wait. Miracle bounces the other side of the Fissure. Freeze, he needs a slap down, doesn't have it just yet. Miracle, bounce up, down you go, and the dust will reveal. Miracle will get away, and while that happened, Pugna died on the bottom lane.
Oh, he's going to live. That hurts. That's a 3-man gank onto a Riki that failed, and they had a dust.
And now they get to go on
just
towards the
outplayed
mid. Perfect stuns. They do so much damage. Normally you think Ghost Shroud's going to protect you, but when you get hit by the Mana Burn, the Impale, and the Spawn Spiderlings, no way to live. And Fade,
yeah.
You already have Diffusal up on the Broodmother. You can't outrun.
This game is swinging in a big way right now. That is Matumba Man being online. This is what Liquid have waited for. They bite their time.
Well,
Bite, not bite. Don't bite time. It's not good for you. Oh, Kuro in trouble.
Nether Blast is able to connect. Freeze, very uncertain about this. Bouncing around, affected by the wave of terror that Desecrate, and then... Oops.
Ow.
Was it painful?
I'm not sure that would have been a kill anyway, but the mental damage is there. Missing that stun that sucks.
Sylar. Oh, Miracle, he got the Tricks of the Trade off. They're starting the spin. They put a second sentry ward down. Miracle bounces down to the creep wave, and then Fissure from Fade. Slam him into the next life.
You're not going to Houdini yourself out of this one. That's the limit right there. Not even Miracle. We'll get out of that situation.
This Courier is going in so deep. Does GH? The trees are whistling in the breeze. Kuro's going to find Freeze instead. That Vendetta Nyx will take some time to get there. Top tower will go the way of Sylar, while Mind Control is creep skipping out the bottom. Doesn't have his Firefly, however.
What's MC building? So he got the hood. Is he going to finish pipe straight up, or is he going to go for a dagger? I'm pretty curious to see. So this is a trend we've seen in the last year, that bad riders don't really rush dagger very often anymore, and instead go for value items that make you able to sustain in fights, so you can be more than just a blink engage, but actually be a hero that runs around, tanks spells.
Matumba starting on Freeze. Slime down at least finds a little bit of space, but here comes GH. Yang TP's in, but it comes way too late. Now this just becomes a potential another kill. Fade, Echo Slam, wants to let it rip, but the stuns around. They only have a couple of Spiderlings around it, but they're attacking into the Necrophos. They'll have to go Shroud and Death Pulse out. Matumba just waits for it before he throws his Spawn Spiderlings into him.
Really nice stun from GH in that situation. That could have got really scary if Shaker gets the Echo off, but stops it right away. Man, this Riki taunt is... The taunts that play music are so weird sometimes.
The music doesn't fit the moment. GH found a new target. DDC hits with Vendetta, follows up with the miss stun. Got the Fuser Blades available. Fissure from Faye will buy a little bit more time. Yang can't do much more. Decrepify on DDC was delaying it, and Kuro is in way too deep. A bumped up Freeze, Echo Slam for the extra control, and now it's Team Liquid coming in a little too deep, but it's just the supports.
Freeze still has a Jingu stack. If he can somehow find anything in the next 20 seconds, that would be a huge nuke on the Boundless, but well, he's trying for it. It looks like he's saving it here and hunting a kill. Knows the 15-minute bounty runes are already, but Liquid already took care of 3 of those, so not really gonna gain anything more here, really. It's 2 nice kills, but again, man, look at Matumba when he plays this Brute. It feels like every time he just gets so rich. This game, he got solo killed mid, he got counterpicked, and his camp got blocked.
Yeah.
And he's still 9,000 net worth minute 15.
Silence on Miracle with the Sentry Ward from before. Miracle didn't forget what happened previously, but Sylar already using his spin. Miracle has to... It has to be so tempting for him. Just has the Yasha arrive. He needs a little bit more support, but then Fade rotates top instead. And Miracle wants to farm this. No Echo Slam for Fade, so I don't think they actually have the damage to kill him up before Tricks of the Trade. That's why they throw down another Sentry on the Observer.
Oh,
the Fissure!
no.
It's the wrong... Oh, and he just taunts him right on the other side of the rock wall. That was worth watching and not seeing Freeze die on bottom. But bottom lane, they are swapping in Yang. 1 core, not enough. 2 cores, that will probably be enough. Ghost Shroud up, Reaper Sight's available, but GH, the double stun onto the Necrophos. Is there someone else to finish the job? Omni Slash in from Sylar, kills off Kuro. Mind Control begins its own TP out. He'll be successful as there's no stuns available for him.
Got the kill on Yang with the Flame Break. He had 4 or 5 Napalm stacks, so the Flame Break deals a lot of damage in that situation. And Liquid, they're going to be really happy with what they've just got. They got Freeze and Yang, and they paid Kuro. That's one of the best trade deals in the history of trade deals ever, actually.
And Matumba wasn't even involved. He was too busy farming up his BKB, which is coming on the courier.
He's having a good time. He's chilling.
The look at it was GH. Fade, Fissure time. He's too concerned getting it on the wrong side. Then it would be completely pointless.
Remember what I said last game with Liquid, how they're good at playing around the cores that are strong in the moment? They just activated their Batrider so effectively there now. Mind Control had the hood. He wants to fight. They bring a play down to Mind Control's lane where they kill cores, and this frees up space for both Miracle and Matumba Man at the same time. Now Matumba has the BKB, so now he's probably going to be the centerpiece of their fights. Now they want to play around him and bring the Batrider to those fights. It's methodical, but it's not, how to say... It's very clear and methodical to watch, but it's not boring methodical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, we do this, step 1, this, step 2, this, step 3, this. Because it changes every game.
It's not a routine. It's a natural progression to winning.
Exactly. And it changes every game what the prioritization is and who is strong and how they play around it. They just have this really good feel for what the power level is in the game is of each of their heroes. And they just take advantage of it very well.
Well, they're looking for a hunt in mid lane, which is where Sylar's hanging out. Is that the rest of the battle, Fury? It is. So Sylar finally has some fast farming clearance, but at the same time he picks that up. Let's celebrate with Blood of Juggernaut. 1 charges and spin. He'll actually get out this one. The Fissure, Scythe is coming down. Miracle barely survives the Reaper's Scythe. Does still go down to DDC. And Blood was actually the celebration. Sylar gets to live through it all.
Yeah. That's a nice kill. Goes to DDC, so he gets a bit on the way of his Pugna, and, well...
Look at him move. Mind Control. All he has to do is just Rod of Atos the Pugna, pull him back in again, and DDC. He was looking to go for his own, decrepifying himself.
I wonder why he picked up Atos. That's pretty interesting. It's really good against Monkey King. But it's not a good item against Juggernaut. It's good against Necro. It's a bit uncharacteristic for me. We don't see this item that often on Batrider. Like, the stats are great. Obviously, you get a lot of int and strength. That's what you want on this hero. And... Gonna force a spin here.
Yep.
I guess that's something you can do. It's not that bad. Oh, top lane Fade. Miracle hits really hard, actually, with that Yasha and extra Blade of Alacrity.
Doesn't even have the diffusal up and running. Fissure actually takes out a lot of Matumba, and they're going to go in for the Omni Slash. Tam, that bug, he stays alive for so long. The end of the Wukong is not actually reaching Matumba. He can live on the sidelines, and now another Rod of Atos, slowing him down, but they can't find the kills, Team Liquid. Everyone's slow, but GH! The 3-man stun right in the middle of everything. Sylar has to spin himself out. DDC draining out the life of GH, but even he will survive. They give him an Earn Charge, and then a counter Earn Charge. There's still going to be a live no matter what. But it's not so great for Matumba. A lot of money going into DDC of all players. 725 for that kill.
Man, that looked so good with the stun, but they still managed to sustain through it. Obviously, Pugna healing himself. The Necrophos getting a couple of extra heals out. And that was on the That was on the sword edge. That could have definitely been a totally different story, but Liquid just lacking a little bit in the power.
Anyone bring a sentry?
GH.
Anyone bring a sentry? Mind Control wants to go for the kill. The slap down's there. Freeze ready to bound in, and he goes after GH. Spike Carapace is slowing down the fight. Kuro's also arrived in the engagement, so DDC with 2 sticky napalm charges, he just can't survive. Mind Control burns him in the fire and the flames. This just does not end.
It really doesn't.
Oh,
well,
Fade. Echo Slam on the single target. Thinks it's going to be enough, and it will be.
oh, yeah. It
All
will
right.
be.
Cool.
Question is, I mean, don't blame him for it, right?
That was it.
Got to get the kills you can,
this,
but
yes.
he would have probably loved to get the kill himself, because you really need this. I think the biggest problem for VGJ.Thunder right now is that their team fight is they don't have that dagger on Shaker. This was one of the concerns I had going into this tournament with Shaker as a hero. I didn't think it would be as big of a pick as it has been, just because it's not that strong in lane, and you really need that dagger in the mid game. And if you're not ahead, if you're getting controlled on the map, you need to find this dagger somehow. And that's one of the problems against Broodmother, is Brood controls your map. So with that constricted space that he has here, it's hard for him to find this dagger. Fade hasn't had a bad game, but he still doesn't have a dagger minute 21. And now that he's finally going to get it, this could be the swing that VGJ.Thunder have been looking for. But once again, Liquid, they've built a big advantage in this time. 6,000 on the gold. There's a lot on Broodmother once again. Does Matu have a new item coming out? Not just yet. So it's the BKB plus 1,400 here. I'm guessing we will see him go for maybe a secondary damage item. He's definitely safe in the BKB against this Radiant lineup. So
I'll have to see the way VGJ, like, as I'm watching DDC with 3 Observer Wards, where he's looking to go. And he put a fresh one right here. So watching that bottom lane, watching the Liquid push out, another one right in front of the tier 1 tower. So this does protect a lot of the push power on the bottom lane. It's still creating more space for Sylar, who's staying inside the jungle most of the time. Roshan's being picked up by Team Liquid.
yeah.
There is nothing that can be done about this. As you said, you need that Blink Dagger ready to roll, but also the position and the vision directly after it. And they go for Yang. He's rooted up, problematic, has nowhere to really escape. Nether Ward is down, and actually there's a lot of stuns coming back thanks to that Fissure, but no way to survive. Team Liquid just balled through it.
That was a very clear, let's get the hell out of here call. Fade had no Echo Slam.
Miracle's
So he's
going
like,
after
I'm going to
Freeze.
fissure, and then you're on your own.
The smoke screen's up. Freeze just can't get out of it. This is where the Monkey King's power just fades away.
He's so close to the BKB, but Miracle catches him just before that, just 100 to go. And that swings that power completely around in the next situation like this with a BKB. He'll probably be able to just jump away.
Fade's got a blink and TP.
But for now, yeah.
He's waiting. Mind Control's going to see him with a Firefly. They'll just root him up and then burn him down. Fissure returns the damage thanks to Spike Carapace, and Miracle gets to be dominating 6-3-3 for Miracle.
He is really, really farmed now. Almost got the Mantle style. Great item this game. Allows him to get break out of Decrepify. Allows him to play around Omni Slash better, even with that and his ultimate. He has those 2 options. If he's an absolute god, he can Manta Dodge Echo. That's probably not going to happen, but you never know. Yeah, just solid itemization. Obviously, Manta Diffusal, classic standard build on Carry Ricky, which we haven't really seen in Dota 2 for a long time. So it's a special treat we get in this game out of Miracle. Yeah, Liquid are they're just looking so good in this game now.
Do you like the Shadow Blade from the Juggernaut?
I think at this point, the problem that VGJ.Thunder has is, again, the thing I was talking about with constricted movement, right? They don't really seem to have a way of getting out on the map. So Sylar is probably hoping that with this Shadow Blade, he can find an opportunity for his team, get a good Omni Slash off on maybe the Bat Rider or the Nyx, and just start the fight that way. Because if Liquid have the vision advantage and they get to jump with the Bat Rider, it feels like every single fight ends the same way. It's too difficult. The thing we could discuss is whether he should go Battle Fury in a game like this, because Battle Fury first in this patch, I feel like is really difficult to pull off just because of how long you're a liability for.
Yep.
Like, Liquid just had so much time on the map.
Oh,
there we go, Shadow Blade reveal.
It's going to be Mind Control. This man was building in towards the Octarine. The Fissure controls him. As Kuro swaps up, they just instantly into the Omni Slash. Miracle came into it too. And then the stun. GH, how's he always in the best positions? Matumba joins the fight to Freeze, able to get the lockdown as he fights inside of his Wukong's command. Very rare you actually have a Monkey King just to be able to stand its ground. But then Matumbaman, he finally will be brought down. They burn through the Aegis, but all 5 heroes ready to fight once more. Perfect stun timing from Fade. Matumba will try and walk it off, but that does not happen. Liquid, it's the worst fight of the game for them.
Is Shadow Blade worth it, Toby?
It's, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's also worth it when you have mind control. Just walk into them.
Now, the thing that was really nice there from Sylar actually was that he waited with casting Omnislash. I think that was... If he was anticipating exactly what happened, that would happen, that was pretty genius. He was waiting for the Nether swap, and then he Omni'd. Because else he could have started Omni'ing the
They
bat.
dusted.
Oh,
Miracle. They got him too.
he did.
He picked up the bounty room, which revealed he was there. Fade had the dust ready to roll.
This is a pretty big swing. That's a 5k swing over the course of just 1 minute. You
And
look
they're
at
getting more
the
bounties too.
look at the net worth graph and all the dots in the bottom. It's like liquid, 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 liquid. Oh, Thunder,
GH.
Thunder, Thunder.
Didn't go directly for the stun. They
They're full
forced
on Tekken again?
TP down. Yeah, easy swing up. And you've got... It looks like VGJ, for the first time in a long time, actually have the desire to really start hunting Mind Control. Throws out the Flame Break and the Lasso, and even roots up the Necroforce. Mind Control is just trying to do this all solo, and Freeze is almost allowing him to do so. He was burning up. He never popped the BKB on the jump in. And now GH
It's time to
on
get
the
out.
hunt. Spirit Vessel's ready to roll. Sylar begins his TP. Freeze bouncing over the tree line. Yang, okay, Freeze actually bounced down. Yang triggers off the dust. Oh, sorry, is dusted up, so Glimmer Cape doesn't protect him. A nice quick jump from Freeze, and Yang's TP away will not be successful.
If they communicated that a little bit better and he instant TPs, he might actually have lived. He also had 18 stick charges.
The end. Oh, you're dead.
Oh, you're dead. Ah, Ricky. That's really what that hero must feel like in pubs. I don't really... Ricky doesn't get picked much right now, but...
Sylar
It's just annoying.
wants to battle underneath that Sentry Ward. Omni Slash is available as a level 3 too, and Kuro and GH will just walk it off. Land a couple of stuns, force out one thing, and yeah, now they're actually going to get rid of the Sentry Ward. Put up their own observer when they realize that Bakuro's in kind of no man's land. Sylar still holding the Omni Slash, but with a double stun. GH, he can't stop that level of damage, and that's just nice and easy. And I think he even get the fissure. There's another Sentry Ward, so they see Ricky, so they burn off the dust, but Miracle, that's why he has the Manta style.
It's another added benefit of it. Easily gets out of the dust. I think we're going to see a gem come out from VGJ for this reason, probably. If anyone can save up the money for it. They're still pretty starved on gold, obviously, from buying all these sentries. But, yeah, this game looks like it could be a lot more exciting than we anticipated 10 minutes ago, because Liquid just had 2 bad fights, and all of a sudden, it's kind of blown wide open.
Yeah, Juggernaut's become a real hero. Freeze has been able to stand in his engagements, and the supports have been doing their work too. Like, Ricky can't keep the control on Fade, because you've got 4 staffs available. You've got double force on DDC and Fade.
Miracle has Battle Fury queued up.
Wait, what? What? Hi, what? What for?
Are they struggling with Wave Clear this game? They have Bat
Oh,
Rider.
really? But then you just get a Maelstrom. Fade? Okay, well, they got him. Perfect chain stun.
In these situations, Ricky deals so much damage in skirmishes where you're like 2-on-1 or 3-on-2, where you outnumber and you get the jump. This hero is really good. It's just in this top level of play, the reason we don't see the hero very often is that it's hard to maintain this kind of control, but Liquid just had such a strong advantage.
Mind Control's got the blink up, dragging in Freeze. DDC wants to try and help him out. Can he give him any life? No. Rod of Atos. They switch their targets, going after DDC, but with a 4-staff away, DDC... Well, okay, no, they are both going to die. He can't drain out life that quickly. Needs more juice in the suck as Miracle. He's diving in deep after Sylar underneath the tier 4 towers, and there is nobody else inside that trick to the trade with a double damage rune. Sylar had no chance and no buyback either. He's dead for a full minute. Liquid, they found their opening.
Yeah. There was an awkward position for VGJ. Obviously, Broodmother being able to cross over the webs in the tree line, and then they actually saved Freeze with the Pugna, but he didn't want to BKB. Oh,
Go slam. Kuro swaps him out, able to get the Thunder to GH in the back lines. Kuro will die pretty quickly, but Tubberman just turns on the BKB. He's still holding the Nullifier, waiting for the right time. Scythe the fight, comes down on top of Matubberman. Sorry, Reaper's Scythe, other Scythe.
Yeah, they were trying to hold him in the ring long enough to get that kill. He knew that it wasn't going to deal damage with the Scythe, but if he doesn't try that, there's absolutely no way to get the kill. So that was an admirable attempt, but yeah, just not good enough. Now, the problem before with the jump Liquid got is, again, this pressure they have on the map and the warding. See, they have way more control in the left side of the map in this exact area where the fight took place. They have that really great high ground ward, so they get the engage. And when VGJ Thunder try to retreat, The Monkey King didn't BKB. He was super low. He couldn't have fought anyway. He could have tried to BKB and just disengage, but he held onto it, ended up dying, and they end up just overwhelming them by simply getting the jump with Batrider. Like, that was the #1 factor in that fight. And if VGJ.Thunder want to try to take these fights, they've got to force the fights into areas where they have vision or get the jump themselves. Or both. Ideally both.
Okay. Thank you, Dota, again. Let's unbound my key.
Oh.
All right, we're back. Sorry.
GH.
Yang dies in the meantime.
Yeah, he does not have Spike Carapace. He should be dying here.
And he's got it off cooldown in 1 second time. The stun chain is going to be there. So they'll find that one. Sylar holding the Omni Slash. Mind controllers Kuro both together, but the stun from Fade doesn't latch onto Kuro. And they buy back on the Nyx Assassin. Mind control's got Blink Lasso off cooldown. And he'll probably want to grab Zara for camp. But Matoman, he walks in point blank range. Now the Omni Slash goes off. GH copying the full brunt of the attack in the follow-up spin. Spike Carapace will not protect him, but Kuro will. Swaps him out to safety. Fade wants to come and help and kill off the captain of Team Liquid, who denies them this kill away from the Wukong command. But they're underneath the shrine. The heal's coming up. Fade's going for another round. He needs a little bit more mana to work with. Oh, he's got friends. But Matoman's caught up to Yang, so Yang has gone down too. Freeze. Now the battle happens on the northern side of the field.
Yeah, Mind Control keeps stacking them up with Napalm here. You can tell that Liquid
So
wants to just
heavily
buy
stacked
time.
too.
Matumba Man is split pushing mid. They got to get back to defend this now.
So it's just a cancel TP moment. The fissure is good. The spin is out. GH, he's already landed his own stun. Mind Control and 100 HP will finally go down. But Matumba, he's taking the tier 3 tower. The melee racks to follow.
VGJ, you got to get back, guys. There's just a full lane of racks being lost here, and they're losing the fight at the same time.
Yeah, they came in. They chased him up. Slap down from Freeze. Matumbaman, he is a beast. Just one Monkey King is not enough to deal with this. In fact, Matumbaman is just taking the entire fight, just biting up the Monkey King. He cannot deal with the pesky bites. And Sylar, well, he'll arrive, but the Rax is already gone. Fade, pulling forward with a fissure, but is there really a follow-up? GH is already here. There is a follow-up, but it's from Liquid. They won't fight, however. There's no need for it.
Fate just held his enchant totem there. We would have got Carapace. That could have ended pretty badly. And Matoma's back to full health. He pressed ulti and hit 2 times. That's how Brood works. Yep. That's another great moment for Liquid. This is the first racks of the game, and basically the way they set this up, this is something that Mind Control is really good at, I think, compared to other players. He has a very good understanding of the macro in the game. Like, what happens across the map when he makes the move. That's why we see sometimes Mind Control go for these amazing baits. There's a highlight from that yesterday, just understanding how putting his life at risk for the greater good, how that can have a huge impact on the game. This play, this mid-Rax, was actually Mind Control taking it with Batrider. He set up that entire thing top by just running them down, napalming them up, being super disruptive, causing chaos. And Matoma was like, great, man. I'll do my thing.
They're coming for the fight. Observer and Sentry is down for VGJ, so they see everything. Mind Control jumps in, and there's your Echo Slam from Fade. They need to keep that control up, and they've got it with the side. Batrider is the lead, but Miracle in the back line just turns on tricks of the trade. Already find himself a double kill, cleans up the Netherwards. They can fight once again with a little bit more freedom. And Freeze, he's ready to fight, but he doesn't have his BKB. He doesn't have the Wukong command, and they need to deal with Matumbaman, who's killing off DDC. Inside the trees, GH Bull. He's got 80 HP. He's waiting away from Sylar's spin, in range of the ES, but really, it's just his end up. He was dying anyway. 3 for 3. Freeze and Sylar gonna survive next to their own tier 2 tower.
Given how good a jump that was for VGJ.Thunder, that fight didn't even go that well. They didn't get rid of Matumbaman's Aegis, so they get essentially a 3 for 3, but they also buy back the Pugna. So we're going to see it again here on the replay. Good echo on 2 heroes. They get the Monkey King ulti off. They get the Reaper off. I think, unfortunately for VGJ, this Reaper is kind of wasted, actually. They didn't need to use this on the Batrider. He was almost dead already and could have maybe played a bigger role getting a Reaper on a secondary target in this situation. And now that the fight continues, they're all out of juice. They have no Omni Slash left. They have no BKB on the Monkey King, like you said. They have no Reaper. And DDC's buyback ends up being worthless. He just runs into the fight, gets nullified, and dies.
Yeah. It's just a hard-earned fight, but at the same time, like, Liquid are still coming out on top. As you said, VGJ didn't really get the most out of it. They need the cause to die more than anything else, but this is green, this is orange marks all the way through. There's still action from both sides. Everyone's still finding that opening to try and find an engagement or a push. A new item to arrive. Freeze has a halberd to go with his BKB. Once Yang managed to complete up, he's looking towards an Aghanim Scepter on the Necrophos. Sylar finished his Battle Fury. Questionable, but still there.
I'm not feeling this Axe here on Necro, actually. I think the problem for VGJ is not that they don't have long enough cooldown or short enough cooldown on the Reaper. It's that they don't take a good enough fight to begin with. I think you need something that is better in one fight. It's a bit ambitious right now to be like, we'll win a fight and then we'll have a second Reaper in the follow-up fight. You need to win the first fight in the first place. I would have loved to see something like maybe a BKB on this Necrophos so he can deal with the Nyx, deal with the Bat Rider, deal with all these pesky stuns and the Nullifier of the Broodmother.
They got so much information. The Observer and Sentry is on the hill back where they fought last time. So it's just a jump in, kill off the Juggernaut. Does he buy back into this fight? Fate could not push himself far enough up the hill, and they're taken on board. It is Matumba. Actually, it's Mind Control. It's Kuro. Everyone's there. Triple kill for Miracle. He doesn't even have to walk anymore. He just rides on the back and throws daggers at people. An ultra kill for Miracle. And that is most definitely the game. Team Liquid, they take it. 2-0, and that gives them first position coming out of the group stage.
Ricky Ags is so good. When you have items on Ricky, actually, that Aghanims is so sick. He pocketed himself into Mind Control, so he's being transferred through the fight very easily with the Bat Rider just flying over terrain, just kills everybody in that last engagement. Beautiful stuff from Liquid. They're showing that they're on a totally different level than VGJ.Thunder in this series. I think both games were very convincing. There were signs of life in this game from VGJ.Thunder, but you can definitely tell in this group what the difference is between the top team of the bracket and the team that is currently in, I believe, 6th place after this. So VGJ.Thunder, they will be starting in the lower bracket, but they will not be eliminated. They are not the last place team of the group, so they are okay going into the main event. Maybe this is some footage they can use for their journey into the Rogers Arena in 2 days. I believe the best of ones will be played on the first day.
That is correct.
They will have a very important game to play that day. And, well, Liquid, they just show class in this game. I think, once again, their Broodmother works excellently. They managed to pull out something fun in the Ricky. They had last pick. We were talking about it during the draft. They're in a really good position. What do you want to play, Miracle? It is a good Ricky game, so why not? Give it a shot. And it worked out.
I'm down for it. Something different. Happy that VGJ.Thunder were able to get a couple of team fights to get them into this game, because having a full one-sided Stomp's not entertaining for anybody. But Liquid put on the show. They take it out 2-0. They take #1 in the group stage, and we'll come back in just a bit as well. We're playing, I think, actually the tops from Group A
versus VGJ Storm.
Yeah, so that's coming up in just a bit. High-quality Dota.
High quality.